Hey, everybody, this is Carl White broadcasting from the communications room here in the secret headquarters of the Mortgage Marketing Animals / Freedom Club. And you are listening to Loan Officer Freedom, number one podcast in the world today for loan officers. And man, today is a first. I believe today is a first. So out of the hundreds of episodes and like a million downloads, I think this is the first time I've flown solo here on the podcast. I'm doing this episode by myself today, and I think you'll enjoy. This is something a little different, where I'm just going to give you some kind of short and sweet to really help you out. And so it's a very, 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 very effective script that I've used over the years, and I'm going to share it with you. And I think it's really going to help you because you can use this script in a lot of different situations. Before we do that, just real quick, I just want to thank all of you for watching and downloading. We're approaching 1 million downloads, which, boy, when I first started the podcast, I wouldn't have thought that was possible. So I really appreciate that. And you guys get all the credit for that because you're sharing this with your friends. A couple ways you do that is you share it with your friends. The other way is by leaving reviews on the different platforms that you're listening. That helps get the word out. So we appreciate you doing that. In fact, we do an ethical bribe. See, it's not just a bribe, it's an ethical bribe. And so my ethical bribe is if you leave a review, and it doesn't have, of course, I like the 5 stars, but as long as it's just an honest review, right? Take a picture of it and then email it to us, support@themarketinganimals.com, support@themarketinganimals.com. I will send you a copy of my latest book, Loan Officer Champions. And if you already have that book, I've got, I think, 4 or 5 other books that I wrote that we'll send you 1 or 2, and you can just say, hey, which ones do you have? And you can have your choice. I think my 2 favorites, man, it's hard. I'll say my 2 favorites today, because tomorrow it might be different because I think they were all good. I wrote them with different people. But my current 2 favorites is the Loan Officer Freedom book. And that's where we walk through the best of to get things done. And then the other one is Loan Officer Champions. And that's where we took the story of 10 different loan officers that kind of went from rags to riches, the different challenges that they overcame, how they did it. And the idea is you read this book and you identify with 1 or more of the people, and it'll help you identify that you do have challenges, and then B, how to resolve those challenges. But anyway, love to send you a copy of the book. Just leave a review on the platform that you're at, just honest review. Send it to support@themarketinganimals.com. So leave the review, take a picture, and then email it to support@themarketinganimals.com. And we'll send you a physical copy of the book. Just real quick, here's a review that Ben the Mortgage Man left. Ben the Mortgage Man, and Ben says, "I'm a loan officer for 20 years now. I've learned from these podcasts in the past 6 months so many solutions and ideas than I ever learned since becoming a loan officer. Go, Carl, and keep changing lives for many more loan officers." So, Ben, thank you so much for those kind words. And again, if you'll just contact the office at support@themarketinganimals.com, be happy to send you a couple books. So appreciate it, Ben. All right, on to the episode. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you one of the best scripts to convert a group of prospects into closed loans. And by the way, one of the things that will likely bring you more success than any other one thing is what's called, and my good friend and partner, Steve Kyles brought this up, is conversations by design. Conversations by design. And some people in the past, I did too, called them scripts. Steve said, no, it's not scripts, it's conversations by design. And having a set way to answer those frequently asked questions, like what's your rate? Like knowing exactly what to say based upon the specific answer that consistently gives the highest conversion rate. Well, it's just smart and it's a profitable way to do things, right? So it's the right way to do things. So anyway, so here's one that has done me very, very, very well over the years. Now, when you find a client that's either in a pickle for some kind of reason, see, that's how we talk in the South. It's in a pickle. You're in a pickle, right? You're in a situation. You find yourself, if your client finds themselves in a pickle for some reason. And what does that mean? Say they're going through a divorce, and now is either buying their own home or refinancing out of the spouse, or maybe, man, I've used this a lot for somebody, their credit report's not quite right. There's some things on it that's perhaps affecting their options. Here's the basic conversation by design, or the basic script to use for those type of people. So it's got 3 parts to it. Part number 1, it's not your fault. Part number 2, it's going to be all right, or it's going to be okay. Part number 3, here, let me help you. All right. So let's go through that. So the first part, it's not your fault. So look, it's embarrassing enough to stand financially naked in front of somebody. And as loan officers, let's face it, we see the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So what we want to do is we want to remove all judgment and all shame and all guilt from our conversations with our prospects, with our borrowers and our referral partners, like everybody. But I can tell you right now that judgment, shame, and guilt, I mean, those are absolutely poison to people, and totally uncool for those people to carry around that bag of rocks, right? Look, I've had my share of shame and guilt over the years, and it's no good, right? It serves no purpose whatsoever. And so we want to let these people know, that it's not their fault to remove the shame and guilt. And it's like, look, we've all done things and been through things that are tough. So just be cool with them, right? And so what I would say, like, let's say I pull their credit and maybe there's some issues there that we need to work on first, right? And I need to refer them out to a credit company. Is I would say, hey, Borrower Bob, look, it's not your fault that you're in this situation. Look, I see this kind of thing all the time, right? So just let them know, hey, it's okay, it's cool, no judgment, right? And then part 2 is it's going to be all right, right? That simple statement will calm down the most savage beast, right? And by the way, it is going to be okay for them, right? It is going to be okay because look, typically we're not talking about a life or death situation here. It's very unlikely that anybody's going to be sleeping outside tonight, right? It's all going to work out in some way, some fashion. Maybe not as they first initially envisioned it to work out, but nobody's going to die over this, likely, right? So how this would go again? We would say, hey, prospect Bob, look, it's not your fault that you're in this situation. I see this kind of thing all the time. First of all, I want you to know that it's going to be okay, right? And that's it, right? That's part 1 and part 2. Now, part 3 is, here, let me help you. Here, let me help you. So now we're just going to help them map out a plan and give them a guide on what to do. Like, what do they need to do now? And perhaps they need help restoring their credit. Well, find a pro that does that and refer it out. Maybe they don't have, or maybe they don't need the down payment that they thought that they did need, right? Perhaps you have a no down payment program or a low down payment program. Come to find out that they're a VA, something that they qualify for, right? So maybe there's some gift funds that solve the problem. Like maybe it's something as simple as letting them know that, hey, while you don't qualify for this price of a home, you do qualify for these other homes in this different price range, right? Just, I find on this one, frankly, it's just a simple matter of telling them the truth, whatever the truth is. Like I always keep in mind, look, I didn't put them in this situation, right? So just tell them what the truth is, right? So here's how it sounds again. Hey, it's not your fault that you're in this situation. I see this kind of thing all the time. First of all, I want you to know that it's going to be okay. Here, let's grab pencil and paper and let's map out a plan. Does that sound good? Question mark, right? That's it. That's all there is to it. Let me read that again. Hey, it's not your fault that you're in this situation. I see this kind of thing all the time. First of all, I want you to know it's going to be okay. Here, let's grab pencil and paper and let's map out a plan. Sound good? That's it. What you've done here is you've taken away the guilt or the shame. You're comforting them by letting them know that you're the expert and you're here, that you're going to help them, right? That's a killer conversation by design, as a killer script to use. Put this to use and let me know how it works out for you. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. So yeah, it's really just that simple. So again, it's not your fault. It's going to be okay. Here, let me help you. Great, great, great script. By the way, we can use that in our family life too, right? We can use that with our kids. We can, this can be used in a lot of places. So put it to use and let me know what you find out. Hey, by the way, if you find that your loan volume is down this year, or it's not as high as you would like, or you find yourself maybe working more than the 40 hours a week, first of all, look, it's not your fault. Heck, you're likely doing things the way you were taught in the past by people that didn't know it was a better way. And the second thing I want you to know, it's going to be okay, right? Look, any of us that's been in this business for any length of time will tell you that market changes often. The market changes often, and it is going to be okay. Well, as long as we make sure that we're adaptable and making changes that are necessary, right? And finally, I can help you with that. So we would love to help you map out a plan for not just surviving, but thriving with the changes that we've seen recently and the changes that we haven't seen yet. Just to let you know what thriving looks like, I just got a text from Tammy Saul, our good friend Tammy Saul, one of the leaders in the Freedom Club. She said, Carl, she just texted me this, and I'm paraphrasing it. She just had her best week ever in the mortgage industry for sales, for purchase contracts. She got 17 purchase contracts for the week, not for the month, not for the quarter, for the week, got 17 purchase contracts. So yes, we can survive during these changes. While there's a change happening, we can thrive during these times. I mean, imagine what it'd feel like when you're drastically increasing your business, closing more loans, yet clocking out at 5 o'clock and leaving your laptop at work, right? That's not a fairy tale, by the way. Many of us are doing that. So, hey, if you'd like to map out a plan and see what that looks like, if you go to loanofficerstrategycall.com, loanofficerstrategycall.com, loanofficerstrategycall.com is going to take you to a little questionnaire. It'll give you some questions that'll help us best prepare for your call. And then it'll take you to a calendar, and you block out an hour of time, and we're going to have a one-on-one call where we're going to actually map out that plan for you. And if you'd like us, and there's no charge for that, it's not a trial or anything. You don't need a credit card to schedule or do the call, and we'll map you out a plan. Now, if you'd like us to help you implement that plan on an ongoing basis, certainly we can talk about that. But the purpose of this call is not as a sales call per se. It's to actually map out a plan. I always thought if you want to demonstrate you can help somebody, actually help them, right? It seems like a very simple formula. So we'd like to help you do that. And again, there's no charge for this whatsoever. This is a very good time to see what's different. See, one advantage that we have over here is we talk to literally thousands of loan officers across the nation that are absolutely knocking out of the park. And we can kind of see what everybody's doing, what's the commonalities. And so we scour for all these top producers and what changes they're making, and then we share that with you. That's what we do, right? That's what we do over here. So loanofficerstrategycall.com. Love to talk to you. Love to map out your plan. Thanks so much for being let me be part of your day. Hey, if you think this episode would benefit other loan officers, could I ask you to forward it to 3 of your friends? Forward it to 3 of your friends, this episode. Forward it to 3 of your friends. We'll talk to you and we'll call in, and we'll see you next week here on Loan Officer Freedom. Thanks again, everybody. Bye-bye.